Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going over another article that Bandai posted in regards to an Android 13 deck from Evolution Booster. This is really cool stuff. You guys really seem to like the last video, so mostly what we're going to do today is basically look at the deck that Bandai has built, kind of see how it jives competitively as well as casually. It's definitely leaning more towards casual. We'll talk about some ways to upgrade it and things like that. So before we get into it, guys, if you're new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss Dragon Ball Super video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there is a TCG player link down in the description below in case you want to buy any of the cards you see in today's video to build a deck like this. It really does help out the channel. Anyways, let's get into it. Announcement: Dev Team Column Android 13 Deck Showcase. Greetings, Dragon Ball Super Card Game fans. UW4's release date is fast approaching and the full card list has been revealed. If you haven't had a chance to take a look, now's your chance. This time around, we're taking a look at a Battle Evolution Booster Android 13 deck, which has received quite a few enhancements courtesy of UW4, so this will probably include set 13 cards as well. If you're a longtime player, you're sure to get a kick out of the inclusions of classic Android 13 cards from BT3. Here's the deck list. So once again, they have it listed out in like the actual card text form, kind of like they do with the starter decks, which is pretty cool, but they also have a picture form, which is quite nice. So take a look at the notes real quick. BT3, Dawn of Terror, Android 13, Flying Nimbus, and Android 14 Stoic Fist are reprinted Battle Evolution Booster. True, Nimbus actually has a really nice reprint in Battle Evolution Boosters. That's pretty sweet. While Bergamo First Roar is found in a revival pack included in boxes of UW3, which is also awesome. I haven't actually checked the price of Bergamo recently, but I think it's significantly lower than what it once was, which is always nice to see. So let's see the list I got here. Okay, this 7-drop green Android 13, and once again, the list is up here. I'll have a link to this in the description, by the way, so if you want to click on it, see the actual text list, you can look up cards, that'll be available. But just talking through the list that I see here, this 7-drop Android 13, man, used to give me nightmares back in set 3. After Mecha got errated its unplayability, this card, the game slowed down a bit, at least at the casual level, for a little while anyway, where you were able to stack multiple of these Android 13s, and they would proc each other's effects once you had 2 of them on the field, and you would just instantaneously lose your entire hand. Like, don't get me wrong, it was like a turn 5, turn 6 thing, and back then, again, I was way more casual with the game than I am now, so maybe if I had more of a competitive mindset back then, it wouldn't have been so scary. But man, back then, after Mecha got nerfed and, you know, the meta was very undefined, that combo was nasty. 4-drop Android 13, very old card. I kind of feel like they're including it for flavor. Like, the thing with this list that I'm noticing is like they're including 2 of each of the boss monsters, right? And I guess the 4-drops allow you to go into all the different boss monsters. I think you really just want to centralize around one, probably picking the best one. I think the 7-drop, let me see the name of it really quick. The Mission Begins, possibly? No, that's the Arrival guy. We're looking at Android 13 Adamantine Avenger. Yes, if I remember the effect correctly, I think he's probably the best one to center the build around. And I think the old 7-drop is actually pretty good too, because of that lack of once per turn. If you can stack its effect with other skills, that can actually be pretty nice. So I think that can work out pretty well. Looking at the list, I think I would consider Zamasu Super Combo, because if I'm not mistaken, the leader actually wants you to rest cards in order to make your opponent pitch cards. So I think that's one thing you might want to consider, but I do understand wanting a draw super combo, because otherwise this deck is not going to draw a whole lot. And the Zero super combo, what are we dumping with that? So we have the Sand Instincts. We can also dump copies of our Android 14s and 15s, but seems kind of unnecessary, especially with the fact that we have 8 copies of an Android 14, and one of them actually also counts as a 15, that gets itself out of the hand to replace itself while also putting names in your drop area. So like the Sand Instincts thing, the one of is cool. Definitely not a super budget friendly thing. The last list with Android 21 seemed a bit more budget friendly. But yeah, I don't think the Zero Super Combo is very necessary. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people really dump on Zero Super Combo. I think it does have some good value in builds that are built around it, but in this build, I kind of don't view it as necessary. Either go all draw super combos, or maybe go with like 2 Zamasu and 2 draw super combos. Counterblast Gohan's not bad, but I guess in this build you might be charging some manual greens, so I guess you can't really get away with like Krillin, for instance. The Bergamo, you do have the ability to proc that with power of a Super Saiyan, so I guess that's good in terms of like, you know, you don't maybe need Zamasu Super Combo. I'm still kind of thinking about that, to be honest, in like mecha builds, or even other like blue-yellow builds I've been messing with, like Kid Gohan, whether like if you're playing 4 power of a Super Saiyan, do you really need any copies of Zamasu? In theory, you should have enough ways to rest things So like trigger your poutines, which actually another card they're not including in this list. That would be a pretty good, really good budget inclusion actually. But yeah, can you play, you know, just 4 draw super combos and 4 power for Super Saiyan? Or should you play 4 power for Super Saiyan and then a 2-2 split on your super combos? Is that enough to, you know, kind of get your rest effects like Bergamo and Poutine rolling, right? If you're playing a blue yellow core, you probably want to play 4 Zamasu, or maybe at the weirdest case like 3 Zamasu, 1 draw. But I guess too much of a tangent on other decks. But it kind of goes in line with the strategy of this deck. Do you have enough ways to rest things? With 4 power for Super Saiyan, I guess so. Then we have the Arrival Android 13 Mission Begins is actually a really insane card. That card is just value town, right? Like you arrive it, big double strike. Then during each one of your opponent's turns, if this thing survives, you're popping 2 of their battle cards. That really is value town. Very, very good there. And it also has additional effect that says once in the drop, you just warp it, pay 1, kill something 3 or less. So this card really is just value. And I believe the unwicked side of the leader just pitches an android to draw 2, so you can get it to the drop if you need to. Also another way to get your other androids to the drop as well if you need to in a pinch. So again, another reason why I don't think Giro is super important. We do have 6 ways to combo a green yellow for free, 7 actually if you count the super combo, which I guess is another reason why they included the super combo, because it is another arrival target. But with 6 already, I feel like that's kind of okay. Plus you have plenty of actual green cards to combo with your yellow cards, so just another thing there. 3 Nimbus, totally cool. With all the androids, I like this card a lot. I like the fact that it's a sensu bean for android leaders. It's a good main deck choice, especially if you're looking for something more budget. That definitely is solid. I do like that. But if you're building more competitive, probably more of a side deck thing. It really just is format dependent. Like how good is sensu bean in the meta? You just got to look at that, and you know, you see whether or not this is a card you should play. And then 2 copies of Frieza Army Reborn. Love that. Card's excellent. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, or no, I guess Power Super Saiyan and Assault the Androids are set 13 cards. But they're also going with the set 13 Sin Shenron SCR, which is a good choice. I'm not sure actually how budget this will be, because, you know, it's definitely not going to be as good. It's as generic as like Heroine's Lineage and Supreme Kai of Time, but it's not as good as Supreme Kai of Time. And then if it's good or better than Heroine's Lineage is a question for debate. I think it'll always be more expensive than Heroine's Lineage, because Heroine's Lineage is just a way easier card to pull. But I've been thinking and talking about this in some videos where, like, you're already in yellow, right? And it is another way to rest things, which is nice with like Bergamo, although paying 2 to tap something and then paying 2 for Bergamo in a green yellow deck can definitely be pricey energy wise. But yeah, I've been talking about this concept with SCRs where, like, if your deck already has access to something, you might want to go with an SCR that gives you access to some other lane of the game. And what I mean by that is, like, your deck is yellow, you already have access to tapping things, so maybe you play Spring Kai of Time, maybe you play Heroine's Lineage, maybe you play some other generic SCR. And I think like the yellow Sin SCR, which also counts as a black card, will be cool in black decks, will be cool in maybe even green decks that don't really have access to interruptive tapping. So I think that's a kind of a cool concept. But anyways, let's go into their notes. So we have the contents, we have the list here, very nicely done. Android 13 deck concept. This is a control deck that can take out rest mode battle cards to force opponents to discard. One of its major selling points is being able to deploy Android 13 cards via a wide variety of skills, including Arrival, Successor, and Union Absorb. Deck overview. The goals: every time you KO an opponent's rest mode battle card, the Android 13 leader forces your opponent to discard. Having cards that can properly take advantage of this skill is essential. So I think I kind of like misremember the leader effect, where it's not when you switch something to rest mode they discard, it's when you KO a rest mode battle card they discard. Haven't really messed with this leader too much myself. Your goal should be to remove your opponent's rest mode battle cards with skills every turn to whittle down their hand. True. If you can play the cards seen above by the mid game, you'll be able to consistently eliminate your opponent's battle cards, powering the rest of the deck's strategies. I think it's kind of funny here they include pint-sized warrior Goku. I'm just like, is this really an example of a card that they want you to be KOing? Like, obviously you could put any battle card in this slot, right? But it's just funny that this is like not a card people play in the meta. So it doesn't necessarily have to be meta. I'm just making a point there. Early game, Android 13 leader can awaken as soon as you have Android 14 and 15 in your drop, which makes Stoic, Fist, and the Troops perfect early game plays. The next leader card also lets you discard Android cards from your hand, finding a starting hand with Android 14 and 15, and you'll be off to the races in no time. Once your leader flipped over, it's time to get ready to play Super Android 13 and set up the engine to ensure you consistently activate your leader's auto skill. Android 14 and 15 target acquired helps play the deck's plentiful Android 13 cards. True, I did forget about the ability for targets acquired to cheat out these Union Absorb guys, so that's definitely a solid thing the deck has going for it for sure. And so the target acquired has deflect, but that doesn't really matter because you can still respond to target acquired playing a card, right? You can still respond to that and like Trunks counterplay that, or I mean, Frieza Charismatic Villain doesn't care about deflect, so that's a whole other thing. But I guess it's I guess it's there. Then we have play an Android 13 when you need absorb. You'll be ready to deplete Super Android 13 the following turn, giving the deck plenty of flexibility. Multicolor cards that can reduce their own combo cost, giving you a straight shot, activating a rival on Android 13 mission begins. All that's true. Again, the things I mentioned before with Trunks and Frieza, some of the reasons why this strategy is not the strongest, but again, it doesn't have to be super competitive. This is definitely a really cool casual thing. I was pretty interested in this leader when it was first revealed. Other things in Battle Evolution Booster just caught my interest more, but it is a cool concept nonetheless, I think. Defensive extra cards. UW4 has given yellow Android decks powerful new defensive cards. Assault the Androids. KO skillless battle cards will give your leader a plus 5,000 power boost for the turn, and is sure to be a thorn in the side of aggro decks everywhere. True. Pair it with skill negating effects, and you can KO any card on the field to stop your opponent's offensive in its tracks. So while I said I agree with the fact that Assault the Androids will be annoying for aggro decks, it'll only be annoying for low to the ground aggro decks. Like Red Broly will not care about this card for the most part. And Dark Broly will not care about this card for the most part, so those are kind of things to keep in mind. Power of a Super Saiyan is another essential defensive option that draws a card while switching an opponent's battle card to rest mode for free. Once your opponent's cards are in rest mode, you can easily activate your leader's card, your leader card's hand destruction skills. Then we have synergistic picks. So we have the Super 17 Unison, a great choice for sending Android cards from deck to drop to awaken your leader. This card can be sent from your drop to your warp to KO your opponent's battle cards, making it handy once you have Android 14 and 15 in your drop area. Android 17 Impending Crisis, like Super 17 Energy Absorber, this card helps awaken your leader. It also plays great mid-game support for Adamantine Avenger, which you can fuel with Android cards in your drop. Android 13 Agent of Destruction, play this card off of Android 14 and 15 target acquired skill, then tear through your opponent's life with critical attacks, KO an opponent's rest mode battle card with this card's activated skill, and your opponent will be forced to discard 2 cards thanks to your leader card's skill, a powerful combination and one of the deck's biggest strengths. In closing, well, what do you think? There are plenty of other great picks in set 13 besides the ones we showcased today, including the yellow Android 17-18 leader card, so be sure to check out the card list. The next column is set to drop May 21st and will feature even more new cards from that Battle Evolution booster and set 13. See you then. So overall, I mean, again, I think it's really cool that they do this kind of stuff. I already talked about a lot of things that I thought about the deck list itself. Definitely more of a casual thing in my opinion, but I want to know what you guys are thinking about Android 13 from Battle Evolution Booster. You guys can always go to the Discord down in the description and you know, share your deck list there. We can take a look at them, that kind of stuff. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.